If we were in any doubt just what a weak leader our current British Prime Minister is, the Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer, well, on the day that President Trump, the President of the United States, arrives, lands in Great Britain to great fanfare, he decides to do this. As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you, chums. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is a very special day here in the United Kingdom. Whether you agree with those side of politics or not, I'm not getting into a fight or a debate. It's about impartiality. What you've got to remember is this is a chance for our wonderful United Kingdom to shine on the world stage. And what a spectacular show we are putting on for the President of the United States. The only downside, I've got to be honest, is a bit misty and a bit miserably sort of rain right now. And there's a bit of worry about whether the Red Arrows can in fact do their fly past, because obviously we don't want to put them in danger. But of course you can always rely on the usual stalwarts to throw some cold water on what should be a joyous event. As many of you know, we have a mayor over here in London, Sadiq Khan, insists on being called Sir Sadiq. Nobody does, so we won't bother. What's interesting though is President Trump, and well, not just his arrival, but everybody else associated with this, massive news crews from the United States of America, booking out endless rooms, hotels, restaurants are full, people are going to the theatre. This is good for business. If anybody knew how to run a business, and clearly Mr. Khan doesn't, you would welcome and embrace this arrival simply because you are putting London on the map, and Windsor. Now, what's interesting is, as you remember, our current British Prime Minister, and at the time of recording this, you never know whether he still will remain in power. If you recall, the last time President Trump arrived in England, up in Scotland, that wonderful land up there, well, he basically said that the Mayor of London was a nasty man, a failing mayor, and selling London short. And then, of course, Keir Starmer had to butt in and say, actually, he's a friend of mine. That did a lot to damage the relationship, because clearly nobody would want to admit that somebody is a friend of theirs when they're failing so badly. You get the picture. Now what's interesting is, because Sir Sadiq, as he insists on being called, I just find that incredible when you think, well, he didn't get invited to the state dinner, which is attended by all the great and the good, the big high-tech people, masses of connectability there, and of course our splendid Catherine and William. She will look fabulous, as will the First Lady Melania Trump. And yes, it is a fashion show. Does it matter? It's great. It's all eyes on our wonderful country. Well, guess what? He decided to put out the fact that apparently President Trump's visit is sort of fanning the flames of diversity and all that sort of stuff, just bad, etc. If you saw how bad things are run over here, you wouldn't believe that somebody would dare do this. But you've got to remember that Sadiq Khan is on a very slippery wicket now. His chum, the former Deputy British Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, she was given the boot for fiddling her house in, right? And there are many other people like Tulip Sadiq, another counterpart to the City Hall Mayor. So you can understand how bad this looks. And on top of all of that, some ill-advised images were projected onto Windsor Castle. And nobody knows who got that person through to be able to allow them to do that. You get the picture. But either way, it just proves one thing, that the current British Prime Minister, who claims that he's a very good friend of Sadiq Khan, and as President Trump pointed out, the failing Mayor of London. Well, if you want to have a relationship, develop business, and more importantly, secure that very special relationship, wouldn't it be about time that you got your own house in order? And wouldn't it even be better if you could get the people that are causing this division to shut up on such an important visit? This has spectacularly backfired, as also it has for the Liberal Democrat leader, Ed Davey. Yes, nobody else knows who he is either. He's refusing to go also, but no worries for him, because no doubt he's ordered dinner for one. You get the picture. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.